And the Lord said to Joshua, today I will begin to exhort you in the eyes of all Israel, so that they may know that I am with you as I was with Moses. Tell the priest who carry the ark of the covenant, when you reach the edge of the Jordan's waters, go and stand in the river. Joshua 3, verses 7 to 8, hearing the voice of God. Let us look at this one. I told you, we will not be in a rush. Let us consistently pursue God until He speaks, as He was speaking the olden days. The man of God, Habakkuk, said in Habakkuk 3 that I heard of your fame. 3 verse 2. Lord, I have heard of your fame. I stand in awe of your deeds, O Lord. Renew them in our days, in our time, make them known. Do you know, we are living in days whereby mostly people are functioning through dreams and visions. And they say, the Lord said to me. And you know, that is the rawest cluster of God expressing Himself. Because He told Miriam and Aaron, when a prophet is among my people, I will speak to that prophet through dreams and visions. But my servant Moses, I speak with him as a man speaks with his friend. He sees the form of God. We must go to those days. We must be hearing God speaking. Or is He afraid of us? I know somebody will tell me, but He has already spoken through the Bible. No. This Bible is a guide to God. So when we are guided to God, do we remain with the guide, or now do the guide lead us to experiencing the reality? We must hear God speaking to us. And we must be able to, with clarity, confirm that is God. Notice here, while myself am I pursuing the voice of God, He is saying, I will begin to exhort you in the eyes of all Israel. When God speaks and you hear that was God, and I told you, when we are saying that God is speaking, it must not be that God is giving you stories. It might even be God can just come and call your name. Just call your name, Joel, and He doesn't speak again. He is saying, number one, if you hear the voice of God, that voice transmits into you the energy of promotion. Today, I will begin to exhort you. This is what we call public promotion in the eyes of all Israel. That is number one. You cannot hear God and you remain buried in the shackles of the society, and you remain in the equal cluster with the others. No. Nowadays, people are seeking the voice of God through prophets. And the way nowadays, there are so many prophets of doom. So when you hear the voice of God, immediately you are elevated to a very high level. You are put above others by that voice itself. Just hearing God speaking. That, even if you do not speak about promotion, the voice, it has the power. It lifts you. The voice lifts you because you cannot hear the voice of God and you remain in the same level with those who have not heard God. You must be at a higher level. Number 2 says, so that they may know that I am with you as I was with Moses. This is very important. Why do you need to hear the voice of God? Because when God speaks, there is evidential proof of God in you. The voice of God produces substantive evidences of God so that they may know that I am with you as I was with Moses. So they will be looking at the Joshua and they will be comparing him with Moses. And this all is by hearing God speaking. The Lord is just speaking. But we don't see any service being done. We don't see ordinations being done here by God. We don't see funny clothing being put on him, being given a very tall stick or a scepter, being told to repeat a certain kind of oath. We are not seeing him being told to bring sacrifices. We are not seeing that. The voice of God is enough. Is enough to give you a vindication. And when you hear God, you don't need anybody to approve you. Because if they now come to approve you, it means they are senior than God. Imagine God approves you, and then you go to men for them to approve you. It means now you are putting those men above God. And that's what Paul did. Paul was preaching very effectively. He met Jesus Christ on the road to Damascus. But if you read Galatians 2, he says, he went to report it to Peter, John, and James, those who were considered as reputable. But when he went to them, he says, he had gone with a revelation, testified himself that he is preaching a gospel that is not the right gospel. But he says, when I came to them, they added no value to me. They added nothing to me. Paul says, actually, I discovered all along I've been right. When you hear the voice of God, even if you shall go to men for their approval and endorsement, they might mostly not give it to you. And they will try to compromise that original one, and they will try to introduce their own. And that's why you notice there are many men who are called by God, and they keep on falling from those they call spiritual fathers. You try to blend in, but it cannot work, because now you are trying to seek men approval. They are men of God, but now you are trying to seek God approved you, and now you are going there to ascertain if God was right through men. How can men be right more than God? So that one is very important. Number 3, he is saying and remember, this voice now elevated Joshua at par with Moses. That one is very sweet. So the voice of God includes you amongst the greatest. He says, tell the priest who carry the ark of the covenant, when you reach the edge of the Jordan waters, go and stand in the river. What does that mean? When you hear the voice of God teaches you the technique or the technology for a miraculous life experience. God is speaking, is telling Joshua, this is what you shall do for Jordan to pave way. So if you can invest in hearing God speaking more and more, you will always walk in this life of the supernatural, a miraculous life. You will always walk a miraculous life. The voice of God teaches you the skill of making miracles in your life. How did Joshua position himself for him to hear this voice of God? You can read it in verse 1. Early in the morning, Joshua and all the Israelites set out from Shittim and went to the Jordan, where they camped before crossing over. So, what made God speak with Joshua here? Purpose. Fulfilling the purpose of God. When you are pursuing the will of God, the full purpose of God, God will come and speak. Do you know why? Because that is where the interest and the heart of God is. Joshua, they came to Jordan and they camped there before they crossed. Now, before they crossed, God spoke. Why? This is his purpose. He had even said there in Deuteronomy, Joshua is the one who shall cross the Jordan. So when you are pursuing the purposes of God,